Hey everybody, Captain B-Nard back here with another Wi-Fi battle. So today we have a battle against Zoe, another random person offline. So looking at her team, it looks to be pretty cool actually. Pretty interesting combination there. Looking at the my team, I should say, it is the same one that I've been using the past couple games here. So what do I want to lead with here is the question, but we of course want to make a note of her team first. So, yeah. And let's see, what do we want here? That is a good question. I think we're actually going to go with the clay doll in this one. And actually, we seem to... What the heck? There we go. Technical difficulty, but should be ready to go, so we'll see how that works out. Alright. So, looks like she is going to lead with the Garchomp, which is actually exactly what I was hoping for. With the clay doll lead, well, actually one of two potential things. So, the good news here is we are packing just the move to deal with this thing. That is the Ice Beam. We're just going to go for it straight away. She probably isn't expecting it. And so, yeah, she's actually packing Crunch, going to go for that straight away, and that's going to hit us all the way down to about a third HP. We do survive, go for the Ice Beam in return, and we are max special attack, X4 effective, so that will go ahead and just one-shot that Garchomp outright and knock her down to 5. So that's not a bad start to the game for us. We do get some HP back with the leftovers there. Claydol not in the best of shape, but yeah, we'll roll with it. So now she's going to go ahead and come in with the Starmie. So, yeah, not much of a point in switching, I think, with Claydol at this point, so we're just going to stay in here and click Earth Power. Probably not going to get it off, but we'll see what happens. She's going to go Hydro Pump. Does not miss, unfortunately for us, and from that range, that will definitely be enough to finish off our Claydol and knock us down to 5 as well. So, yeah, now what do we want to bring in to face this thing is the question. I think... That is a good question. I think we're actually going to go ahead and come in with the Raichu. So she does still have an electric immunity on deck, which is unfortunate. So, but I think we kind of just have to try to take this thing out at this point. So we're just going to go for a Thunderbolt here straight away. And so she is not going to stay in, unfortunately. And she is going to switch directly into the Torterra, which is what I was afraid of, so that is unfortunate. So yeah, Thunderbolt obviously not going to do anything there, and she's going to get a free switch, so not great for us. So we definitely can't stay in on this matchup, being choice specs locked into an electric attack. So we're going to go ahead and switch out into the Moltres. So hopefully she doesn't anticipate that, but we kind of just have to do it, so there it is. And she's going to go for a Curse, so I'm going to go ahead and drop the speed to increase attack and defense. So, yeah, definitely try to set up to do some big damage. So, I think we are definitely going to want to try to put a stop to that early, so we're just going to go ahead and go for a Fire Blast straight away here. So she's actually not going to stay in on that matchup, and she's going to go ahead and switch to the Zapdos. So, yeah, this thing is going to come in, probably not going to appreciate a max special attack Fire Blast here, and indeed it doesn't, knocking it down to about a quarter HP. It is then going to get some HP back with the leftovers. So, an interesting battle of the birds here, the Gen 1 legendary birds, that is. So, unfortunately, I don't think Moltres wins this battle. So we may well just have to get out of here. So that is what we're going to do. We're going to go back to the Raichu here. And she's actually going to double switch, perhaps predicting that. So she's going to go ahead and switch in with the Starmie. So perhaps not predicting that, but predicting us to take her out, or try to take her out with another fire attack. So yeah, we do actually get the matchup here as we come in with the Raichu on the Starmie, so that's good. But unfortunately, we could well be in a situation where we are going to, yeah, kind of be in a tough situation here, because she still has that electric immunity on deck. So yeah, and we don't have a ton of great water switches, so is she going to do the same thing twice is the question. Are we going to do the same thing twice is the question, and we don't have much time left to answer it. So you know what, I think, you know what, we are going to do the same thing twice, and we'll see if it works this time. So we're going to go Thunderbolt again, and nope, she's not going to stay in on that matchup. So going to come back to the Torterra. So unfortunately, that did not work out at all for us, as we are going to, she's going to get a free switch once again. So yeah, once again, we are going to have to switch out here. Can't do anything to this thing, obviously, being choice specs locked to an electric attack. So once again, probably just going to have to go to the Moltres again and hope that she doesn't anticipate it this time. But yeah, that's what we're going to do. So there it is. And she is going to switch, and so a lot of switching going on here, and going to switch back to the Zapdos. So interestingly enough, we get the Legendary Birds matchup once again here, as she is going to regain some HP with the leftovers once again. So interesting turn of events here. I think this time she already showed that she wants to switch out on this thing, so I think we're actually going to stay in here and attempt to fire off an Ancient Power. And she actually stays in as well, and Volt switches on outspeeding us, which is going to do a truckload of damage, actually knocking us down to about a third. So that is unfortunate. But at least we know this thing outspeeds us, which is something. And yeah, so now she's going to come back in with the Starmie. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and hit an Ancient Power on this thing. And yeah, that is going to chip that thing down by about a third, so not terrible, as we do get some HP back with the leftovers. Unfortunately, I don't think we can keep playing this switch game here, so we may well just have to stay in, which is going to kind of be an unfortunate choice that we have to make, but I think we have to make it here. So we're going to stay in, and we're going to actually go Air Slash on this thing and see what happens, as she is actually going to fire off a Psychic this time around, and unfortunately from that range that is going to finish off the Moltres, and that is going to drop us down to 4, so that is not great. I'm thinking this thing might be choice, but I don't know. It could be. She still has a lot of options here, so definitely could be premature to bring the pincer in here. So I think we want to actually go to the yeah, to the Registeel, so that's what we're gonna do. So yeah, I don't know if this thing's gonna want to stay in or not, but either way, with all the switching here, I think we're gonna take this opportunity to try and throw the Stealth Rock up. Probably something we should have done earlier, but didn't get the chance. And indeed, she's not gonna stay in, gonna go right back to the Zapdos. Which kind of works out for us in a way, since we do get the Stealth Rock up for free, which is nice, and it does do a lot of work to her team, so that's good. Then this thing is going to get some HP back with the leftovers. So, yeah, this thing could definitely be packing a fire move, but unfortunately, I think the best thing we can do at this point is just stay in and try to whittle this thing down. So we're just going to stay in and click Rock Slide here and see what happens, as she's actually going to defog instead, so that was a possibility too. Going to cut our evasion, but more importantly, of course, get rid of the Stealth Rock, as we go ahead and go for a Rock Slide here, which is going to hit this thing down to about a quarter, which is good, but then she is just going to go ahead and get some HP back with the leftovers once again. So yeah, not great, but I think we're actually just going to go ahead and throw the Stealth Rock up again here and see what she wants to do. And of course, unfortunately, it is going to be to Roost. So that is one hell of a cycle of misery for us. So we do get the Stealth Rock up, which is something. But unfortunately, she of course just defogged that away, and we're not going to be doing enough damage on the Rock Slide to really make a difference. So Yeah, not a great spot for us to be in given what we have left. Um, so yeah, I think honestly, the best thing we can do here is just probably just stay in and rock slide again. So that's what we're gonna do, and she's gonna just defog the rocks away again, unfortunately. So our goal here would kind of be to keep the rocks up, but that doesn't look like a feasible goal. We're gonna get a rock slide to knock this thing. That is really not doing much damage, unfortunately, knocking it a little above half. And then she's going to get some HP back with the leftovers. So, yeah, she could definitely just roost that damage off again. But I think we're just going to keep trying to set the Stealth Rock up here, as she's going to go for a Thunderbolt this time around to hit us down with a critical hit to a little above half, as we do get our Stealth Rock up again, which is something. But round we go in this chain of command here. So, yeah, we're both going to get some HP back with the leftovers there as well. So she's probably just going to defog again here, so we could actually take this opportunity to get a free switch into something else. And unfortunately, we don't have a lot of great options, but I think we're just going to try to come in with the Raichu, as we might have a little bit of a plan going here if we can predict the switch. So there it is, and she is just going to Thunderbolt. So actually that worked out better than expected, as she is going to activate our Lightning Rod to increase our special attack there. So that's actually really good for us. She gets some HP back with the leftovers, but now we can attempt to perhaps get something going here. The Stealth Rock is still up, so we're going to go for a Choice Specs +1 Surf here. We do outspeed, going to nail this thing with it, and it is not quite enough, unfortunately, to get rid of the Zapdos, but it does hit it into the red as she goes Roost again, which is going to put this thing back up to after the leftovers almost full again, unfortunately. But the good news is here, there's no way that she can Roost twice, so I think the best option here is just to keep clicking Surf, so that's exactly what we're going to do. And until she changed tactics or we get a crit. So hitting her right back into the red there. She is going to defog our rocks away, which is kind of what I figured, but that is okay, because now this thing is within range that it cannot take another Surf, even though she does get that leftovers recovery again. So we're just going to go for Surf again here. No water immunity on her team, and she is going to switch though. Might come back in with the Starmie, yes. So she may have figured out that we're choice locked at this point, but we do still have max special attack, choice specs, and a +1, so we go for the Surf, and it's not quite enough to get rid of the Starmie, unfortunately. But you know what? It is a 2-hit from that range, so yeah, we are, you know what? We're just going to go for it. We're just going to stay in and go for it, as she is going to outspeed, unfortunately, go for a Psychic. And wow, that is going to go ahead and just one-shot us. So that's probably specs right there. So yeah, definitely looks to be choice specs damage. So with that in mind, we are going to go ahead and come back in with the Registeel. So yeah, that does kind of suck for us, but at least it gives us a little information. So we're down to 3 at this point. She is probably going to want to come back in with that Zapdos, if I had to guess. So I think the best thing we can do is try to catch that thing with a Rock Slide. So that's what we're going to go for. And she is indeed going to go for the switch here. And she is indeed going to come back in with the Zapdos. So she comes back in with it, and we go for the Rock Slide. And we hit the Rock Slide, and it is enough. Thank God, it is enough to get rid of that Zapdos and knock her down to 4. So there we go. That definitely was exactly what we were looking for there. Going to get some HP back with the leftovers. That's a big problem out of the way in the Zapdos. So, yeah, now she's going to go ahead and come in with the Star Raptor, and yeah, going to get the Intimidate to cut our attack, which is what it is. So yeah, I think, what do we want to do here? So we're kind of running out of options, unfortunately. I don't think we can really switch out at this point. So I think the best thing we can do here is we are at -1 attack. So we could try to chip this thing, or we could get the Stealth Rock up again. And you know what? I think the best play at this point is to get the Stealth Rock back up. But unfortunately, she is going to go for a close combat, and we actually can't take one from that range. So this thing might be banded, actually, which is pretty bad for us. So yeah, that's going to go ahead and knock our Registeel out, and she is, oh no, she's Life Orb. Okay, so going to take some Life Orb there. That's going to knock us down to 2, so we are really not in a great spot here. We pretty much have one shot left at this point, and that is the Pincer. So we are going to come in with the Pincer here, and so yeah, we are choice Scarf, so we know we're going to outspeed this thing. And we have to hope that we can get lucky enough to hit a Stone Edge. I think that's probably the best thing we can do, so that's exactly what we're going to attempt to do here. And she isn't actually going to stay in on that matchup. Going to go for the switch, and going to switch in Charizard, actually, which is interesting. So Charizard going to switch right into a Stone Edge here, and we do connect, which is awesome. So that's going to go ahead and, of course, just one-shot that Charizard outright and knock her down to 3, as that does trip the Moxie to give us an attack increase as well. So that did work out relatively well. So yeah, now she's going to go ahead and come back in with the Torterra, which definitely is a problem because that thing does in fact resist the Stone Edge. So yeah, I think unfortunately we are choice locked into Stone Edge, obviously, so we can't really stay in, so we have to switch out, and all we got left to switch into is Bibarel, unfortunately, which does not have a good time with Torterra, but yeah, that's all we can do. So we're going to go ahead and come in with the Bibarel, as she's going to go for a Curse, which is bad news, of course, for us. That is going to cut this thing's speed, and then increase its attack and defense. So yeah, not a great spot to be in here, as this thing could probably easily one-shot us with a grass attack. So I think the only way we're gonna get anywhere in this one is by taking a few chances. So the chance we're gonna take here is we're gonna double switch back into the Pincer here, predicting a grass move. So gonna come in with the Pincer again. And she's actually going to double switch herself, which is kind of interesting, and she's going to switch in to the Starmie, so that's interesting. So yeah, now another interesting situation here. She does have the Torterra on deck. So she's got the Torterra, the Starmie, and the Staraptor left. So X-Scissor is a good move. 2 out of 3 of those options. She knows we're packing Stone Edge though, so she might be wary of switching that Staraptor in. So I think we're gonna try to go for X-Scissor. I think that's the best bet here. So we go X-Scissor and we outspeed thanks to the Scarf. Go for the X-Scissor, and that will definitely get rid of that Starmie, and that's gonna knock her down to 2, and that's also gonna trip the Moxie to give us that attack increase again. So yeah, Pincer trying to scratch and claw our way back into this one, but Staraptor's coming back in here, and of course going to get the Intimidate to cut our attack back down to regular. So yeah, unfortunately we are not in a great spot here, because every attack, there's no attack that we can go for that's great for both the Staraptor and the Torterra. So that's kind of the problem at this point in time. So yeah, I think the best thing we can do here, we can't stay locked into X-Scissor at neutral attack, so we have to switch back to Bibarel, unfortunately. So that's what we're doing, and yeah, there it is, and we'll see what she wants to do here. Brave Bird, gonna go for Brave Bird. So that is just going to absolutely obliterate our poor Pokemon God there, taking the bullet. Going to get rid of it, knocking us down to just 1 as she takes a bunch of recoil and Life Orb damage. So the last line of defense is, of course, at this point, the Pincer. So the problem is we have to lock in. So the best thing we can do is lock into close combat here. So that's exactly what we're going to do, and she's going to actually play it pretty smart and switch to the Torterra to save and intimidate here, and of course to scout us, I think. So yeah, we're going to go close combat, and we'll see how much it does. Not nearly enough to this thing. This thing is very bulky on the physical side. So yeah, that's bad news for us. We take those defense drops, and this thing is packing leftovers to boot. So yeah, this is a pretty bad situation for us here. So yeah, nothing we can do here but just keep clicking close combat and see what happens. So yeah, we get a second close combat, knocking this thing to about a third HP here. Take another defense drop, obviously, and then this thing is going to curse, actually, so that's fun. So we're going to get a speed drop combined with an attack and defense increase, which will, especially after the leftovers recovery, almost ensure that another close combat will not take this thing out. So yeah, again, we're just stuck here clicking close combat. The only thing that could happen is a crit, and it doesn't, so that is unfortunate. Yeah, that does not do nearly enough as we take a third defense drop, and this thing is packing synthesis, so okay, so she's just going to stall us out, I guess, rather than attacking us. If this thing even has an attack, I don't know. But at -3, we most certainly would have gone down to an attack, so she's clearly just going to stall us, so I'm not in any hurry to click anything at this rate. Because yeah, that is going to be game. We are going to go down here for sure. So yeah, just going to do the only thing we can, and yeah, that is game. So we are going to lose that one 2-1 to Zoe, actually. Very competitive match. Although it did come to the timer, didn't really matter, honestly, because at that point in the game, there was really no way for us to win that one at that stage, so it didn't matter. I mean, obviously, she didn't. I don't think she had to run out the timer. At -3, anything that she would have gone for probably would have taken care of Pincer, unless she didn't have an attacking move. But either way, yeah, still a good one. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching again, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, and or subscribe if you did enjoy, and stay tuned for more new battles in the future. So that's it, and we'll see you next time.